Can't hear you. I can't hear you. Hello? I can't hear you. Hello? 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 Can't hear you. Can you hear me? You can hear me? Yes? But I can't hear you. Hello? On my phone. Okay. Hello? Yeah. 1 second.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Oh, thankfully. Okay, so we got this going. Okay. I apologize sometimes, hey, with things that happen technically. So, anyways, how are you doing, Johnny?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on my podcast. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I've had some guys from the CFL on, but you're my first player to come on my podcast.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm
So,
glad to be first.
hey, congratulations on winning a second straight Grey Cup back to back.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, how hard was it not playing in 2020, having that shutdown in 2020?
It was definitely tough. It's what I've been doing for a long time. So to have it stop, especially at a high level at the professional, you know, everyone's going through their battles physically, mentally, obviously during COVID at its highest. But you know, I think winning again made those wounds a lot better.
Definitely, and I missed the CFL in 2020 as well. And I was gonna say, and I was just so glad it came back this year. And you guys had another outstanding season, going 11-3, and then obviously winning another Grey Cup against the same team, the Hamilton Tiger Cats. What was it like being on that sideline, being down by 12 points with about 5 minutes left in the game?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we ever lost sense of hope. I mean, we've been there, done that, and that's what makes a championship team is facing adversity, right? So, first Grey Cup that we played against them, we obviously had a huge margin and continued on that margin. Whereas this one, we found ourselves in a difficult situation, but I don't think anyone lost hope. We continued to play our game, and at the end of the day, we came out on top.
I was gonna say, and it's hard enough to win one championship, but to win back to back nowadays, especially even in the CFL, is hard. I think the last team to win back to back in the CFL, besides you guys, was the 09-10 Alouettes, and then before that, it was the 96-97 Argonauts. But I was gonna say, for you guys to three-peat, the last team to do that was the Edmonton Eskimos from 78 to 82. They won 5 Grey Cups in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think about all that stuff. I just think about the next one.
Hmm.
And, obviously when you win, you enjoy the moment, for a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month max. But after that, it's back to business. It's always about the next one. So I don't come into thinking like writing history or whatever. I think about what am I going to do to be prepared and ready for the 2022 season. Whatever happened in the past, happened in the past. I think about what's ahead.
Okay. When does training camp start for you guys?
Training camp starts for us officially May 15th is first. I think May 15th. Yeah. So in a couple of months, two. So we got a little bit ways to go, but it's going to be there anytime.
Yeah, and then I guess your first preseason game is on Monday, May 23rd against the Saskatchewan Roughriders
That is
at 5
correct.
o'clock. And then your home opener is, I guess, let's see, Friday, June 10th at 8:30 against the Ottawa Red Blacks. So I'm really looking forward to a full CFL season this year. And like I said, when we didn't have it in 2020, you really appreciate it even more when something's been taken away from you.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was good to play last year, even though it was a short season, and it'll be good to get back to our regular routine and regular schedule.
Definitely. Before I get into questions, Johnny, thoughts on Andrew Harris, who's now with the Argonauts. I'm an Argonauts fan, by the way, but I will cheer for you guys as you're long and not playing Toronto. But I just wanted to ask you about thoughts on Andrew Harris in your time being with him on the Bombers.
Great player, amazing teammate. Just a blessing to be mentored by him.
Definitely, and I really think the CFL this year is going to be really competitive. You got Hamilton, who's going to still be a really good team. I think Toronto is going to be a really good team. Obviously, Winnipeg is still going to be good. So I really think it's going to be one very interesting 2022 season.
Yeah, no, it every year is a competitive season. It's 9 teams, so every team's always changing year in or year in and out, and every game we don't take for granted. So it doesn't matter what the record is; anyone can win on any given day.
And I was going to say, with now Andrew Harris in Toronto, you will probably see more back time in the backfield than with the Bombers.
We'll see what happens.
Cross your fingers. How do you like doing special teams?
I mean, at the end of the day, I do what is required from my team, um, and that's a phase of the game that people don't really pay attention to, and that could be a huge deciding factor. And I think a lot of people saw in the Grey Cup how, you know, our kicker Sergio kicked 5 field goals for us, and those were huge, right? So a lot of people obviously pay attention to offense and defense, but special teams, the only time people pay attention to it is come crunch time. So I really enjoy it, and yeah, it's definitely a fun phase of the game.
I was going to say, and what's it like being a player under Michael Shea, who's a Guelph Griffin alumni like yourself and a CFL Hall of Fame linebacker with the Toronto Argonauts as well.
Great coach. Better yet, Moch is more of a coach's player. It creates a special bond between us. Just knowing that I can attend to him not just as a coach, but as a friend, as a mentor, as a person to look up to. So definitely love playing for him.
And from what I see, you have kept Winnipeg has kept most of their core players together too, and that's huge when you're building a winning franchise is to keep your key players together.
Yeah, no, it's good to be with familiarity, be with guys that you've been with for a while. Because obviously when new people are coming aboard, there's always adjustments, and so to see the same people for the last 4 to 5 years is it's very special, and to continue to build on that.
Definitely, and I'm looking forward to going to some CFL games this year, either in Hamilton or Toronto. I haven't been to one since 2018, which was Ricky Ray's last game in the CFL, unfortunately. So I'm hoping to get down to both BMO and Tim Hortons Field, and hopefully see you guys in Hamilton and in Toronto as well.
Nice. Yeah, it'd be nice to have you there.
Definitely. Okay, Johnny, I was just going to get into some questions. First one I wanted to ask you, can you just tell my audience just a little bit about yourself? And when did you decide you wanted to pursue a career in football? And how did you end up getting into the real estate industry?
Yeah, so I've always had a athletic background growing up. Played a lot of sports, specifically martial arts. Did that for a long time, and then in high school, I started playing football. I fell in love with it, and was given the opportunity to be on a football scholarship at the University of Guelph, and then from there, now it's my profession, which I'm blessed. Me myself, I'm always looking for ways to expand my career outside of football. And I've always been fascinated by homes and just markets and stuff like that. So I thought the real estate avenue was a great career path, and now I'm doing that, and I really love it.
And you're based at what, Niagara Falls, I believe?
The Niagara region, and as well as the Guelph, Kitchener, Waterloo.
Okay, and you're with what, SirlockHomes.com?
iPro Realty is the main brokerage,
Okay,
but the team and cooperation that I'm with is Sherlock Holmes.
okay. No problem. I wanted to ask you about that as well. And like I said, I guess it's good to have another career to follow on because, as you know, in football and in pro sports, careers can sometimes be cut short as well. So it's always good to have a backup thing to fall upon as well.
Yeah.
Okay. You already answered my second question, Johnny, but I'm going to ask you the last part of it. Obviously, you told us you went to school at Guelph Gryphons. Did you have any mentors when you were in high school and then when you came to Guelph before you got to Winnipeg?
Um, for me, I didn't really have a specific mentor. Everyone around me was kind of a mentor, from teachers to coaches, teammates, veterans. I would say that is, my mentorship group. Um, Doug Flew, he's a great mentor of many of mine when I was at the University of Guelph, just helping me to be a better person, a better man. And then I would also attribute to that as Neil Lumsden, who was my running back coach, great mentor and a friend of mine to this day.
And he was also a part of that Eskimo dynasty too. And he played for the Argos too. I guess I'm old because I remember when he played fullback for the Eskimos and Argonauts.
Yeah, no, he was a great player back in the day, and better person outside the field, even more than his playing days.
Definitely. Did you ever deal with his son Jesse?
Say that again.
Did you ever deal with Neil's son Jesse Lumsden?
I met him a few times. He's also a good person. Yeah, but very briefly. Don't know him too well.
Okay. And Doug, I did have on my podcast a couple of months ago, and he was nice enough to give me about an hour and 20 minutes of his time. Really positive guy, and his career as a police officer, and then working with the Griffins, obviously, and the Guelph Storm as well.
Yeah, I mean that's Doug for you. He's just full of light, full of energy, and can't say anything more else great about him. But just pure joy with him.
Definitely. Now, I know you're from Welland. Where did you play your high school football again in the Niagara area? And what was it like being accepted to the University of Guelph and making the Gryphons football squad?
Yeah, I played at Notre Dame High School in Welland, here in Welland, Ontario. And then when I got a scholarship to the University of Guelph, or an offer, at the time it was definitely a tough decision. I was getting a lot of offers from different schools, a lot of schools throughout the OUA, but Guelph felt right at home, and you know, going to Guelph was one of the best decisions of my life. So was really thrilled that I made the right decision.
And it's been a solid program in that as well. And like I said, I was gonna say, what was your most memorable game and moment as a Guelph Griffin in your time in Guelph?
I mean, I would say winning the Yates Cup in 2015. I mean, there's a lot of great memories. I can't. It's hard to choose, but winning the Yates Cup, knowing what we were trying to strive for that year. Obviously, we fell short of the national title, but at the end of the day, winning that Yates Cup, being represented as the best team in the OUA, was an amazing feeling.
Yeah, and as you know, it's so hard to win a championship because I know in the OHL teams win the OHL championship, but when they don't win the Memorial Cup, everyone talks about it. But it's hard enough to win your own league championship, let alone a national championship on top of that.
Exactly, right. So to just represent your conference is a huge deal.
And who was your head coach when you were with the Guelph Gryphons?
Stu Lang.
Stu Lang, yes, and he played in the CFL as well,
Yeah, he did.
a long time ago. So he's really done a lot for the Guelph Gryphons football program and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, amazing, amazing coach, and almost like a father figure, to be honest. And Coach Stu was a huge blessing in my life.
And he's also contributed a lot to the facilities too. The football field facilities over the last 5 years have really been upgraded.
Yeah, like I said, playing at the University of Guelph was one of the best decisions, and you know, I definitely can say that it's not just being an athlete, but we always say being a student athlete. So just the whole process of getting the help and the education, and knowing I'm going there not just for football but also being a student.
Do you? Do you also keep in touch with anybody from the Guelph Gryphons, from the coaching side or the organization still?
Yeah, of course, and then obviously, you have teammates that you've created special bonds with. So definitely say that Guelph has been a special place in my heart and continues to be a special place in my heart.
Okay. And that leads to my next question. Johnny, I was going to say, what was it like being given an opportunity? Um, Obviously, you were an undrafted player, but what was it like being given an opportunity with Winnipeg? I know you had tryouts with Edmonton and Saskatchewan, but did you use that not being drafted as even more motivation, or were you already more motivated to begin with as well?
I would say, end of the day, you know, I feel like everybody gave me an opportunity, whatever they saw, whatever they thought. And, my opportunity came with Winnipeg. And 4 or 5 years later, that's the franchise I'm with. And I'm continuing to be blessed. And I know that this can be taken from you any moment, any time. Um, I'm just happy that everything has worked out in Winnipeg. I love the city so much. And, yeah, it was tough at the beginning, as you saw or know. Edmonton, Saskatchewan, very briefly. But that's part of the process. It's a business. And, all you can do is keep working, whether motivation or not. I know what I bring to the table, and I'm gonna always work hard. And that hard work has led me to being at Winnipeg for the last 4 or 5 years and winning back-to-back titles with the team.
And I was going to say, I love hearing stories like yours, Johnny, undrafted guys in other sports as well. And what I'm trying to do, I'm almost 50 years old. I'm trying to switch into radio and do it the unconventional way. Like I do have college, but not broadcasting journalism. And what I'm doing is just working away, grinding away at it. And I love hearing stories like yours because it keeps me motivated and to keep focusing on what I want to do now.
Yeah, I really wish you the best with that. I mean, I think you're doing a great job right now, and like I said, I'm happy that you're having me. So I would love to see your career blossom, and who knows, maybe you might be hosting one of the CFL games.
Well, I've been really lucky, and like I said, I've had Mike Hogan on, Sean Bowen from the Argonauts, Rick Zamperin, who used to be the Tiger Cats play-by-play guy, and I had Tommy Condell, the offensive coordinator for the Tiger Cats. So everybody in the CFL, I might end up having the chair for all 9 teams because I'm starting to get to know people from each franchise, and they're all good people, and it's just amazing how everybody's been really supportive of what I'm trying to do as well. And that's why I love stories like yours, Johnny. Never give up stories.
I appreciate that.
So, and Doug is kind of very motivational as well when I was talking to him and that as well. And he's such a positive person, and it's nice to have positive people in your life.
Absolutely, you need those kind of people to keep you going.
Definitely. Now, I got to ask you this, Johnny. Are you still okay for time?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Do you remember your first CFL game with the Bombers, and were you very nervous, or do you have some kind of ritual before a game that kind of relaxes you?
I mean, first game was preseason game against Edmonton, um, and I mean, nervous or not, I just stay in my lane. I stay focused, and I say a prayer to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and I just everything that I work, prior to that, I let the preparation and the faith in God's hand, and I just play ball, and that was a memorable. Just being able to suit up for my first professional game, whether it was preseason or not, it was that I was just taking in the moment. I mean, it was a great day, great game for myself personally and the team. We got the win, but I was just taking in like, I'm here, I'm doing this right now.
Living your dream, and that's so awesome. I was gonna say before a game now, even a preseason game or a regular season game, do you listen to any kind of music or anything before to get you relaxed or focused or anything like that, or do any special rituals before a game normally?
I do a lot of like visualization, meditation. Just seeing like what my steps are going to be like prior to the game, those type of things. So usually the night before, even the morning of, or whenever the game is, I always make sure to kind of see where my head's going to be at and stuff like that.
Okay. Do you remember your first? I believe you have so far in your career, young career, you have one rushing touch and one receiving touchdown. Do you remember those touchdowns?
Of course, you don't forget your first. So I remember my first one at Edmonton, and then I remember my receiving touchdown, Banjo Bowl Classic in Winnipeg against the Rough Riders.
Did you keep the football or one of them?
I kept both of them.
Smart man, smart man. And I was watching some of your highlights today. You had a nice 55-yard run against Saskatchewan as well in a game.
Yeah, no, I was the offensive line did a good job blocking it, opening it up. Obviously got in space, put a little move on, and kept going. Obviously, I wish I would have scored all the way, but still was a nice yard to gain, and we ended up scoring off that. It was where we always talk about big playability, getting momentum going, and being able to execute on those plays.
I was gonna say also another guy I would love to have on my show one day is Zach Collaros because he started his CFL career as a backup with the Argonauts in 2012, and obviously got a Grey Cup behind Ricky Ray. And then he went to Hamilton. They lost a couple Grey Cups in a row, and then he had a whole bunch of concussions. Then he got traded to Saskatchewan. Then he basically they thought when he came back to Toronto that he was done, and then look what he's done in Winnipeg. He's reinvented himself, and now he's probably going to be in the CFL Hall of Fame when his career's over.
Yeah, he's a great teammate, great friend, and just a great person. I'm just honored and privileged to be playing with a person like that.
Yeah, and like I said, I love his stories because, like I said, you're gonna face adversity in life, even in football or sports or outside of it, and it's not how you get hit; it's how you get up and handle it.
Exactly, right. You're gonna not get knocked down. We wish in this world that it was perfect and dandy, but reality is we're gonna face some obstacles, and it's how you respond to it. Well said.
Definitely, and it's like, hey, with the Argos, I thought they were going to get to the Grey Cup last year, but they had a 12-0 lead. But Hamilton never gave up, and in football and sports, you got to play the whole games and make the most of your opportunities.
Exactly. You keep going all 4 quarters until that last whistle's done. So
Or in your case, overtime, and that was the fourth Grey Cup game that went to overtime in the history of the Grey Cup.
yeah, and it's nice to be part of that special moment. So that's why, you know, obviously our first Grey Cup, we were able to separate ourselves in terms of the lead. Where this one we went down to the wire, so that makes the win that much more special to know that we did it in a you know in a fashionable way, I guess, in a classic way. So yeah, just not taking everything for granted.
I was going to say in 1961, 2005, and then I was at the Grey Cup in 2016 in Toronto with Ottawa and Calgary, and Ottawa was heavy underdogs. And then obviously last year as well. I'm gonna hopefully I'll be able to go to the Grey Cup in 2023 in Hamilton. I think this year it's in Saskatchewan, and then 2023 it's in Hamilton. But like I said, there's nothing like the Grey Cup. I love all football. I love U.S. college football. I like the Canadian football and the NFL, and there's nothing like the CFL. To be honest, I've always loved the CFL.
Yeah, it's a beautiful league, and I'm just thrilled and honored to be a member of it.
Well, definitely. And I was gonna say, Johnny, let's see. I got a couple other questions I was gonna ask you on here. Let's see. This one I was gonna ask you: what's it been like overall being a part of the Blue Bombers organization and playing in the city of Winnipeg, and also the radio announcer who was doing their games for I don't know 30, 40 years, Bob Irvin. Did you ever sit down and talk to him? Like, did he ever interview you on the radio?
Yeah, Bob was an amazing play-by-play announcer, um, radio host, everything. Like, just an amazing person, and just those small conversations. Anytime he did interview me, ask me questions, like it's just one of those people that you want to talk to, and it's you know more than accepted to talk to him and answer those questions. So he will be fairly missed, not just by our team but by the city of Winnipeg. I'm sure, obviously, he's going to be around, but yeah, just hearing his voice, amazing person.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and back in the '80s, I'm kind of aging myself. He was on the CFL network they had as well when they had the CBC and them. He did the games there as well, and he always did a really good job on that network. And obviously, he's very passionate about the Blue Bombers and the fan base there absolutely loves the franchise too.
Yeah, no, the fans are amazing. The city as a whole is amazing, and I'm just like I said. Sometimes I feel like I'm spoiled, because obviously Niagara's home for me. This is Southern Ontario is my home, but Winnipeg is my second home. I love it there. I mean, it does get a little chilly, but at the end of the day, I'll take that over anything for the fan base and what that city represents and stands for.
And the stadium looks absolutely beautiful. What are the facilities like for you guys?
Amazing. I mean, I think in terms of the facility itself, it gives us everything that we need and anything that maybe we don't have or whatever. At the end of the day, it's a facility that allows us to be successful, from the training room, the athletic therapy room, the locker room. I just think the city and the organization has done a great job to take care of us.
Okay. I'm going to put you on the spot with this next question. When you were growing up in Welland in the Niagara region, who was your favorite CFL team, favorite player, and did you have a favorite NFL and U.S. college football team as well?
I didn't follow the CFL that much, to be honest with you, when I was in high school.
Okay.
But I was a huge Tom Brady fan, and yeah.
I got a Tom Brady story for you. I was at his first ever NFL game in July 31st, 2000 at Canton, Ohio. The Niners and Patriots. Brady was the number 4 guy on the depth chart behind Bledsoe, John Freeze, Michael Bishop, who played in the CFL with the Argonauts and the Alouettes, and Brady. And even though I'm not a Patriots fan and I might not be a Brady fan, his story is inspiring too. Sixth round, 199th overall, and he was basically discarded by every team in the NFL bypassed him, and he was the number 4 guy on the Patriots. And look what he did with his career.
Yeah, he's the greatest of all time, and that stuff inspires me. So, and that's why I'm a huge Tom Brady fan. I'm not a quarterback. I just, like you said, his story, his grit, and just his perfection or his continuation to be perfection. To be perfect. So, yeah, incredible story.
Oh, and even when he was with Michigan, he wasn't even the number 1 quarterback then. It was Brian Greasy and Drew Henson, and Brady had to fight to get playing time with the Michigan Wolverines. So everything he's earned in football, everything in football he has, he's worked for it, and it's been given to him. Nothing's been handed to him.
Exactly. That's what makes the small victories a lot better because especially when you have to work for it and it wasn't given to you, you appreciate it that much more.
And that's what I'm trying to do too. I don't expect to get into radio be given to me. I expect to get into it by working hard for it and having the opportunity and running with it. So
Yeah, no. Like I said, keep up the good work, and I'm sure everything's gonna work out for you, and I hope it does.
thank you. And I'm just my attitude is I'm taking one day at a time. I'm also doing camera work with Rogers TV as well for the Ontario Hockey League Squall Storm, and I love doing it. So I work with a good bunch of crew guys, and like I said, everybody that comes on my podcast, I learn new things all the time on my podcast, and I just really enjoy talking to people like yourself and guys from the other sports leagues as well.
No, absolutely. Enjoy the journey and process.
Definitely. I just got a couple more questions for you, Johnny. You still okay for time for a few more minutes?
Yep.
Okay. This one I had to ask you. What was the biggest adjustment coming from the university football, obviously Guelph, to the CFL? What adjustments did you have to make, or what did you find different from the college game?
I would say just how much experience plays a factor. You get a lot of young guys, rookies that come in and obviously have God given athletic tangibles and abilities. But at the end of the day, a 10-year, 8-year CFL veteran, even if they're not the fastest and doesn't have the most athletic attributes, they're that much further ahead because they understand the game. So, you know, that was probably the biggest adjustment, realizing that, your pure athletics won't get you far. It's understanding the game and how much experience does. How was my first year compared to going into my fourth, fifth year? I'm far and above and beyond. So
And how long did it take you to learn the offensive system with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers?
um, I think every day, you know, just trying to learn, trying to understand how I can grasp the full scheme, full terminology. Um, every day you're learning something new. So, even to this day, you're always learning something new. So, and that's what makes this game great, is because there's always ways to get better, always ways to learn. Whether it's the offense, whether it's learning the defensive scheme. So, um, I would say every day I get on that field, every day I'm practicing, I'm learning something.
And I was going to say, what is a game day like for a CFL player like the Winnipeg Blue playing for the Bombers? What's that like?
Well, I know for myself, I have my workout routine the night before. I wake up, I eat certain foods, and then, like I said, I do a lot of visualization, meditation, and come in early prior to the game, 2-3 hours prior to kickoff. Do a little bit of more mobility work, see my chiro massage therapist, and then obviously we have our team warm ups. Got it together, and then from there, we say what we got to say, and game day.
Okay. And now, occasionally, sometimes you have to play 2 games in a week. How tough is that to play a second game in a week on a short week? How tough is that physically and mentally on you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it happens all the time, but when it does, I think the coaching staff and the team staff do a great job of taking care of us. Maybe less practices, more recovery days in between. So obviously it's short. You want more of an expansion, but I think, like I said, they do a great job of taking care of us to make sure that we're put in a position that anytime we got to play, that we're playing at a high level.
Okay. What is besides Winnipeg, obviously, what's your favorite other city, CFL city to play in, and favorite other stadium besides Winnipeg Stadium to play in?
Well, I really hate them, but I love playing at Mosaic Stadium against the Rough Riders, our rival. Hate everything about the green, but at the end of the day, I just love, minus our fan base being the best in the league. Um, they're probably the second best fan base. Those guys, I love how their culture is because it reminds me of our culture, right? They're all about the Riders, Rider Nation. So playing there is always good times.
I was gonna say, and what stadium have you been to where you haven't really enjoyed it so far?
I
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
I can't, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just love playing football.
Okay. I was gonna say, so far out of all the games you've played so far, which defense besides the Bombers have obviously you go against your teams in practice, but which defense in the CFL do you find is the toughest so far to play against?
Well, I think you kind of answered it. Our defense.
Your defense, yeah.
I see them every day, and I play other defenses, and I'm just happy they're on my side.
Definitely. And like I said, I'm looking forward to the CFL starting up in May. It's not, you're right, it's not that far away. And like I said, I guess you guys just have to take one game at a time. How is the coaching staff with keeping you guys focused? They're pretty good about that, eh?
Yeah, like I said, do a good job of taking care of us. They know when we gotta have days off and those type of things. So, like I said, I'm just happy to be in an organization that not just care about us for our abilities, but care about us as a person, as a whole, right? Understanding that we have lives outside of football, and like I said, they do a great job in that building to make us feel wanted.
So during the football season, you stay in Winnipeg, and then when the season's off, you come back to the Niagara area. Then,
Correct.
do you? Okay. And my next question I was going to ask you, if you're still good for a few more minutes, is do you have any advice for those looking to change careers and also how to deal with adversity? And where can my audience find you on social media? And if you want to talk maybe a little about your real estate agency career as well.
To transition, from anything or finding a career, I would say it's what you're passionate about, what you think will make you happy. I enjoy real estate, and the reason why I chose real estate as well, like I said, I am fascinated by homes. But secondly, you know, because of my environment from football and being working lots, training, hands on, real estate is a high paced, fast field, right? You're constantly getting, a lot of deals, constantly doing a lot of negotiations and stuff like that. For me, I just find that it was a smooth transition, and I enjoy it. You got to enjoy the process. You got to enjoy the journey. So you got to do what things that make you happy. At the end of the day, reality is people want to get paid. People want to make money. But if you think about that, you're not going to be happy. I'm telling you that. It doesn't matter if it pays $2, $3, or $50. At the end of the day, you got to do something that makes you happy. Because if you do something that makes you happy, it's going to go far and beyond, and the money will come in after. In terms of facing adversity, um, at the end of the day, you got to really do a lot of self reflection. I think that us as a human being, ourselves personally, we obviously give a lot of energy. We talk to a lot of people. I think coming back internally and understanding what your whys are, and understanding when things are tough, and you're being brought down. Understand that you yourself, you're stronger than that. You're better than that. And if you can overcome those obstacles and adversity, you're going to be able to face anything down the road, right? So I would say, just really having a deep dive of yourself, self-reflecting. In terms of finding me on social media, I'm big into my Instagram, J Augustine 27. Sorry, J Augustine 27. as well as my Twitter handle, jaugustine27. The Twitter one doesn't have an E. Um, I don't know. It's just how it was made. But the Instagram one is jaugustine27, and then also my real estate page, Johnny Augustine Realty. Um, and then for what I do in real estate, I primarily do residential. Like I told you, I work the Niagara region specifically, as well as the Kitchener, Guelph Waterloo. But I'm part of a team that also pretty much does all of Ontario, a lot of the GTA area. So, like I said, those are my primary residencies in terms of where I focus. Um, but at the end of the day, someone needs help in Sault Ste. Marie, I'm going to help them. um, and yeah, like I said, doing everything from the buying, selling side, investing side, all residential. Yeah, that's pretty much my work. Also residential leases as well.
Okay. I was gonna say before I let you go, were you able to bring your one Grey Cup ring to show us?
Give me a second here.
Okay, no problem. That would be great to see it. Anyways, guys, just bear with me for a minute. Johnny's gonna just bring one of his Grey Cup rings. I believe this 2019 Grey Cup ring. I gotta ask him when he gets his 2021 Grey Cup as well. So I really appreciate you doing that, Johnny. Because I had Javon Foster, a CFL player agent, come on, and he showed me his Vanier Cup ring, and it was like amazing. So, and he's a good guy too, by the way. That
So
is
that's
nice.
so yeah. This is 2019.
Wow.
The blue diamonds represent the amount of times we won the Grey Cup.
Yeah, you guys are rep behind the Argonauts now for Grey Cups, I believe.
Exactly. And then 27 has my number on it.
Wow, that's
And
nice.
and then on the side it is 2019 107th Grey Cup, and and you probably won't be able to see it, but on the inside of it, it actually has the game of the score of the game that we won, 33-12 against
12.
Hamilton. Yeah,
Wow. Wow, that's something nobody can ever take away from you is that Grey Cup ring.
exactly. So very blessed and honor, and I want more.
I was gonna say, when are they gonna have? I guess the opening night they're gonna have the ring ceremony. I'm assuming opening night you'll get your ring against Ottawa.
I don't know. That stuff hasn't been confirmed yet. So
Okay,
to
that's
be
awesome.
honest with you, I'm not lingering on the second one. I'm lingering on the next one.
You're getting hungry for another one, just like Tom Brady. One, two, three. Now he has seven. But I think Tom Brady will be back. By the way, I don't think he's completely done yet.
We'll see what happens. Funny,
Def
funny, funny world.
Yeah, that never. All I'm gonna say in sports and life, never say never.
Exactly.
Definitely. Now I gotta ask you this before I let you go. How did you come up with the number 27? Is that one of your all-time favorite numbers, or is that just that was available with the Bombers?
27 just is my number in terms of, seven's my favorite number as a running back. Typically, you're in the 20s. So I figure I have a number with seven on it, which is 27. My birthday is July 7th, 77. And the cherry on the top, and most importantly, is my mom had me at the age of 27.
Okay, that's great to know. I had no idea. So, hey, I was gonna say, Johnny, thank you so much for coming on live with CDP podcast, and maybe again I can have you on again in the future as well.
Well, thank you for having me, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Johnny, and we'll see you at the fields this year in Toronto and Hamilton.
Take care. Thank you.
You too. Thanks, Johnny. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Anyways, guys, that was Johnny Augustine. He's a two-time running back, two-time Grey Cup champion running back with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, University of Guelph Gryphons alumni, and he's now a real estate agent in the Niagara Guelph area in the off season as well. So again, I want to say thank you to Johnny Augustine for coming on and showing off his 2019 Grey Cup ring as well. So, and his story is great. Like I said, he wasn't drafted by any CFL team, and he had tryouts with Edmonton and Saskatchewan. They didn't work out, unfortunately. Winnipeg gave him an opportunity, and he made the most of it. So it's just like anything in life. Sometimes you're going to get rejected, but you never give up and you never quit. And stories like Johnny Augustine's, I love hearing. And same with Zach Collaros as well. He was written off after his concussion issues in Hamilton and then Saskatchewan, and then back to Toronto, and look what he's done with Winnipeg. So stories like Johnny's and Zach's are great, and you can also check out the CFL website, www.cfl.ca, or just Google CFL, and the preseason there starts in May as well. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers will be starting their preseason against Saskatchewan Roughriders at 5 o'clock Eastern on Monday, May 23rd. And then the defending Grey Cup champion Bombers will have the regular season opener on Friday, June 10th at 8:30 at home against the Ottawa Red Blacks. So I'm looking forward to the return of the CFL as well. Also, guys, just to let you know, my next live with CDP podcast is going to be Monday, February 28th at 3 o'clock Eastern. My guest is Audley Stevenson, the Vice President of Basketball Operations and the Commissioner of the National Basketball League of Canada. So Audley is going to be nice enough to come on and talk about the return of the NBL of Canada after a 2-year shut down due to the pandemic, and what they're doing to celebrate the league's 10th year. And they are Canada's oldest professional basketball league as well. And they've got 4 teams still playing in Ontario in the Windsor Express, London Lightning, Sudbury 5, and the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans as well. And speaking of that, guys, let's see. I got right here the website. You guys can check out the website, nblcanada.ca as well. And there is one game tonight, guys, and that's Kitchener Titans at the Jamestown Jackals at 7 p.m. tip-off. And when I talk to Audley on Monday, we're going to talk about some changes with the league and how they're going to have inter-series league with another league called the Basketball League, TBL, that's based out of the States. So they're going to be having some American teams from that league play against the NBL of Canada teams. And we'll talk about the playoff format they're going to set up for the 4 remaining teams in Ontario and Canada with the league. And I'm looking forward to speaking to Audley on Monday at 3 o'clock on my podcast as well. And also, I just want to say thank you to everybody for watching this podcast live on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. And also, I want to say thank you to everyone watching this live on Facebook and also on Twitter. And also, guys, just before I go, guys, I'm just going to put this up here on my screen. Just to let you know, live with CDP podcast, the audio version is downloaded onto Google Podcasts, Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, Castbox, and my LinkedIn page as well. And also, you guys can follow me on TikTok at Live with CDP there. And also, guys, StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP podcast. I highly recommend StreamYard. I think it's better than Zoom, in my opinion. And also, guys, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter at Chris D. Pame, on Instagram, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you wish to do so. And also, guys, you can follow me on LinkedIn. I post all my audio versions of my podcast on my LinkedIn page as well. And if anybody wants to, they can email me at cpame19@gmail.com as well. And also, guys, if you're interested, Live with CDP merchandise, my podcast shirts are 15, coffee mugs are 15, and my new podcast hats are 18. If you're interested, shipping is extra if you're out of Guelph and out of country as well. And before we wrap up season 3, episode 10 tonight, also you guys can check me out. I'm doing a weekly blog now, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and you guys can check out the website. It's on wordpress.com/home/live with CDP podcast. And I've done some blogging on Lou Whitaker's number 1 being retired by the Tigers, the return of the NBL, Major League Baseball, whether there will be a season or not. So I'm going to be doing a blog probably maybe twice a week. If you guys want to check that out again on wordpress.com/home/live with CDP podcast .wordpress.com as well. And I'm probably going to do another blog this weekend as well. And that's pretty well it. Just gonna wrap this up. The Guelph Storm plays 3-3 this weekend. Friday night at home against the Windsor Spitfires, Rogers TV, and I will be doing camera work for that game. Saturday night, they're on the road to take on the Owen Sound Attack. And then Sunday afternoon, they're back home at the Sleeman Center at 2 o'clock against Kitchener Rangers on Rogers TV and CJOY 1460 on the radio with Larry Malott as well. And speaking of that, in the next week, I'm going to have Rogers TV play-by-play announcer Steve Fitzsimmons and his color analyst Ryan Drury come on and talk some Ontario Hockey League and some Guelph Storm hockey and overall how the season has gone from the Storm. So I'm looking forward to speaking to Steve and Ryan, and they're a part of the Rogers crew that I'm a part of, and they do a great job, and everyone on the Rogers TV crew does as well, and the producer Neil White does a really great job as well. So I'm just lucky to be a part of that as well. And you know what, guys? Before I go, I'm just going to show a little clip of Winnipeg Blue Bombers winning the Grey Cup again. This video clip is courtesy of TSN. I'm just going to show a couple minutes of it, and then we're going to wrap up my podcast. And I hope everybody has a great weekend. So just give me a minute to play this clip. And this is of the 2021 Grey Cup, courtesy of TSN.
Hamilton hasn't won the Grey Cup in 22 years, the longest active drought in the CFL. They have home field advantage for this one. The Ticats, the first team since 2013 to play for the Grey Cup on home turf. Dane Evans getting the start for Hamilton. He replaced Jeremiah Masoli in the East Final. He went 16 for 16 to lead the Ticats in that win over the Argos. And after Hamilton started the game with back-to-back 2-and-outs, Evans' pass is tipped by Willie Jefferson and picked off by Alden Darby. Evans was also under center when the Ticats lost to the Bombers in 2019. That would lead to a Winnipeg field goal. Second quarter, Hamilton now down 7-0. Evans escapes some pressure. He takes off, but then gets taken down by a couple Winnipeg defenders. Evans in some pain on the ground. Looks like his head got twisted as he was going down. Evans grabbing the back of his neck. He would walk off the field under his own power. Masoli comes in to replace him. And less than a minute to go in the half, it's now 7-3 Winnipeg when this happened.
Ticats on the move from the Winnipeg 12. Masoli looks into the end zone. Touchdown, Ticats.
Masoli coming in and leading the Ticats on back-to-back scoring drives. They were up 10-7 at the half. The Ticat fans loving everything about the momentum shift. It was a great atmosphere, and they were also loving the halftime show, which was headlined by Hamilton's own Arkells, featuring the Lumineers.
I'm knocking at the door. I'm knocking at the door. That's me. That's the best drummer in Canada, Timothy James Oxford. Let's go. Thank you, Hamilton. This is a true honor to do this with you tonight. Let's go, Tiger Cats, okay?
You know, Max is a big Ticat fan. Heavy winds really playing a big factor in this one. Winnipeg electing to kick into the wind to start the third quarter, meaning the wind will be at their back for the fourth. This kick gets caught up in the wind, gets knocked down, and traveling less than 40 yards in the air. Later in the third quarter, tied at 10, Zach Caleros picked off by Cameron Kelly, and he's got a big return. Looks like he just has to beat Caleros to find the end zone. He wasn't able to beat the turf, though. He's tripped up. That's the first interception Caleros has thrown in his 3 Grey Cup appearances. Sets up Hamilton with great field position. Second and long, Masoli spotting Brandon Banks, and Speedy B finds his way into the end zone. Masoli starting 8 for 10 with 2 touchdowns after replacing Evans. Hamilton up by 7. Ensuing Winnipeg drive. Caleros looking over the middle. He's picked off again, and again it's Kelly, the linebacker, with INTs on back-to-back drives. Hamilton unable to turn that into points, however. Fourth quarter, Hamilton up 9. Arkells lead singer Max Kerman joining the booth. He got involved on this call from Masoli.
He likes to play music again. Oh, here we go. Oh, let's go! Oh my goodness! That's the play call, right? Oh, goodness.
Well, the Ticats would cap that drive off with a field goal to make it a 12-point game. And midway through the fourth quarter, the Mounties arriving with the Grey Cup. the reigning champs are going to make this one interesting. Under 6 minutes of play, Bombers down 9. Collaros to Nick Dembski, and Dembski makes a man miss. He's in for the score. Winnipeg would tack on a rouge on the ensuing kickoff. So it's a 1-point game. Less than 2 minutes to play. Bombers going with the win. Sergio Castillo with a 45-yard field goal attempt to take the lead, and this is good. And on the ensuing kickoff, Winnipeg sends the kick into the end zone, and Tim White catches it and for some reason takes a knee, and that's a rouge. The single point is huge because it makes it a 3-point game instead of a 2-point game. Ensuing Hamilton drive, 3rd and 8. Masoli stands in the pocket, completes it to Jalen Acklin. That's just enough for the first down. Clutch play for the Ticats. And then on 2nd and goal, Masoli looking for Acklin again. And he's unable to make the catch this time. Dietrich Nichols gets a hand in there to break it up. The Ticats can't believe it. They would hit the field goal to send this one to overtime. And in OT, for just the 4th time in Grey Cup history, it's Winnipeg with the ball first. Collaros connected with Darvin Adams. That's good for the touchdown. Collaros' wife loving it. Teams must go for 2 in overtime. And Collaros hits a wide open Rasheed Bailey. So it's Hamilton needing a touchdown and a 2-point convert to extend the game. And check out this.
Watch and hope. On the 2nd and 18, Missouri. Oh, nearly intercepted. It is. And it's over. They waited an extra year.
Anyways, that clip was courtesy of TSN, and that's Winnipeg's 2nd straight Grey Cup, back-to-back against Hamilton. They won 33-25. They were down 22 to 10 late in the 4th quarter with about 5-6 minutes left, and they pulled off another victory. And I was speaking of that, Hamilton head coach and former Tiger Cat player and Argonaut player Orlando Steinhauer was introduced into the CFL Hall of Fame today. So congratulations to Orlando. He was a Hall of Fame defensive player for those teams, and he's also a very great head coach with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And even though I'm an Argos fan, I have a soft spot for Orlando Steinhauer because he was a great player, and he's one of the best coaches in CFL as well. So congratulations as well. And I'm hoping to catch a CFL game this year as well. So anyways, guys, again, I want to say thank you to Johnny Augustine, the running back from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, for coming on live with CDP today, season 3, episode 10. And I hope you guys can have a great weekend. And I hope you guys can all tune into my next podcast this Monday at 3 o'clock with Audley Stevenson. He's the National Basketball League of Canada Vice President of Basketball Operations, and we're going to talk about the return of the NBL of Canada after a 2-year break and some of the changes with the league as well. So anyways, guys, again, thank you everybody watching this live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and later on my audio platforms as well. So I hope everyone has a great weekend, and we'll see you guys for another edition of Live with CDP podcast, live in audio this Monday at 3 o'clock, and we'll be talking some hoops with Audrey Stevenson from the NBA of Canada. All right, thanks again to Johnny Augustine and everybody for watching and listening tonight's show tonight. Have a great weekend, guys. We'll see you Monday at 3 o'clock.